So Paul, we would like to know the summary of your talk. What are you going to talk about?
Okay, so what I'm going to be talking about is that there are certain things academics have to do nowadays beyond just sitting in a library or out in the field. You have to do a fair amount of engaging with the public. You have to be interdisciplinary. It's not enough for a biologist, for instance, just talk to biologists. You should also be talking to other disciplines. And what I'm advocating is that what's necessary here is that you have to be good at communicating. That you have to recognize that part of your responsibility as a scientist is to get out there and talk to your colleagues, talk to the public, talk to everyone about what you're doing. I'll be giving some examples of why that's so important.
So this advocating part is also important. It's not just giving information.
Right. You don't want to just, don't want to just dump a pile of information on somebody. You have to give them context. You have to explain why this is important. Actually, let me back off a little bit there. One of the things I often tell scientists is that you shouldn't go to people and tell them why something is important. Because unless you've got a cure for cancer, right, it's not important to most people's lives. And what I found far more persuasive is to go to people and tell them what's beautiful about it, so that they can appreciate why you're doing this, what's elegant and gorgeous and lovely about the science you're doing.
So IkerGazte, it's a conference on young Basque researchers. Which would be your advice to these young researchers?
Yeah, well, that's going to be another part of the talk is, for instance, one of the things I'll be talking about is how women are actively discriminated against in science, and that it's in the interests of women to get together and do their own thing, to plot and plan and scheme to get ahead. And I would say the same thing to any minority group, the Basques. In my country, my university is closely associated with the American Indian movement, so we have a Council of Nations there for the Indian tribes. And I think that's exactly the same thing, where you've got a group of people with common interests coming together and doing what's necessary to help people.
Apart from being a researcher, you are also working a lot in public divulgation of your work. Which is, in your opinion, the importance of this part of your job?
Yeah. Well, that's actually an awkward question because I'm not a high-powered researcher. I am not at a major research university. Most of my research is geared towards training students to go on to professional schools or graduate schools and do research. So, in many ways, I consider the most important thing I'm doing, aside from actually training students, is helping the public understand why we do this stuff. I do developmental biology, and to most people, development is invisible. Yeah. Yes, the woman's stomach gets bigger. that's the level of their knowledge. So being able to talk in detail about exactly what's going on inside there, many people find that fascinating. Some people find it icky, but it's still important to get that information out.